Welcome to www.theaustraliantest.com, your trusted resource for Australian Citizenship Test preparation with 12 years of experience. In this video, we will present 20 unique multiple-choice questions drawn directly from the official guide, Australian Citizenship, Our Common Bond. Each question comes with a detailed explanation to enhance your understanding. Please do not skip and watch continuously for the best learning experience. Do not forget to share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Let's get started.
Question 1. Which culture is considered the oldest continuing culture in the world? Option A, Australia's Indigenous cultures. Option B, British culture. Option C, Roman culture. Option D, Chinese culture. The correct answer is Australia's Indigenous cultures. Explanation: Australia's first inhabitants were the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. They are the Indigenous people of Australia, and their cultures are the oldest continuing cultures in the world. Question 2. Which migrants were actively encouraged to settle in Australia during the first half of the 20th century? Option A, British. Option B, Pakistani. Option C, Indian. Option D, Japanese. The correct answer is British. Explanation: throughout the first half of the 20th century, migration levels rose and fell. There were programs to actively encourage British migrants to settle in Australia, and many did. Question 3. What does the black color on the top half of the Australian Aboriginal flag represent? Option A, Aboriginal people of Australia. Option B, the Torres Straits Island groups. Option C, a spiritual relation to the land. Option D, the night sky. The correct answer is Aboriginal people of Australia. Explanation: the top half of the Australian Aboriginal flag is black and represents the Aboriginal people of Australia. Question 4. At what age must Australian citizens register on the electoral roll? Option A, 18 years. Option B, 19 years. Option C, 20 years. Option D, 21 years. The correct answer is 18 years. Explanation: Australian citizens aged 18 years or over must register their name and address on the electoral roll. Once registered, voting is compulsory in federal and state or territory elections. Question 5. What is required to change the Australian Constitution? Option A, a simple majority in Parliament. Option B, a double majority in a referendum. Option C, approval from all state governments. Option D, a unanimous vote in Parliament. The correct answer is a double majority in a referendum. Explanation: to change the Australian Constitution, a double majority is required in a referendum. This means a majority of voters in a majority of voters in a majority of states and a majority of voters across the nation must vote for the change. Question 6. Which statement about criminal offenses in Australia is true? Option A, violence is only illegal in public places. Option B, violence is acceptable in certain cultural contexts. Option C, violence towards another person is illegal and a serious crime. Option D, minor violence is not considered a crime. The correct answer is violence towards another person is illegal and a serious crime. Explanation: in Australia, as in other countries, violence towards another person is illegal and is considered a very serious crime. Question 7. Who may be called to serve on a jury in Australia? Option A. Only Australian-born citizens. Option B. Any Australian on the electoral roll. Option C. Only those with legal training. Option D. Anyone residing in Australia. The correct answer is any Australian on the electoral roll. Explanation: any Australian who's on the electoral roll may be called to serve on a jury. Question 8. What is another name for the Senate? Option A, the House of Representatives. Option B, the upper house. Option C, the lower house. Option D, the people's house. The correct answer is the upper house. Explanation: the Senate is sometimes called the upper house, the House of Review, or the state's house. Question 9. In which part of the Northern Territory are the tropics located? Option A, south. Option B, north. Option C, west. Option D, east. The correct answer is north. Explanation: the Northern Territory has tropical areas in the north and red desert soil in the south. Question 10. What are the 3 important parts of the Australian national flag? Option A, the Southern Cross, Union Jack, and yellow circle. Option B, the Union Jack, green stripes, and Commonwealth Star. Option C, the Union Jack, the Commonwealth Star, and the Southern Cross. Option D, the Southern Cross, red stripes, and yellow star. The correct answer is the Union Jack, the Commonwealth Star, and the Southern Cross. Explanation: the Australian national flag has 3 important parts: the Union Jack in the top left corner, the Commonwealth Star below it, and the Southern Cross on the right. Question 11. Where did the early free settlers in Australia come from? Option A, France. Option B, Russia. Option C, Great Britain and Ireland. Option D, China. The correct answer is Great Britain and Ireland. Explanation: early free settlers were from Great Britain and Ireland. This British and Irish heritage has had a major influence on Australia's history, culture, and political institutions. Question 12. When did European settlement begin in Australia? Option A, when 12 British ships landed with convicts. Option B, when 10 British ships landed with settlers. Option C, when 11 British ships landed with convicts in 1788. Option D, when 15 British ships landed with explorers. The correct answer is when 11 British ships landed with convicts in 1788. Explanation: European settlement started when the first 11 convict ships, known as the First Fleet, arrived from Great Britain on 26 January 1788. Question 13. What do the points of the Commonwealth Star represent? Option A, 6 states and 1 for the capital city. Option B, 7 major cities of Australia. Option C, 6 states and 1 for the territories. Option D, 7 original colonies. The correct answer is 6 states and 1 for the territory. Explanation: the Commonwealth Star has 7 points. 6 points represent the 6 states, and 1 point represents all of Australia's territories. Question 14, which statement about equality in Australia is true? Option A, only men can join the Defence Force and police. Option B, only women can work in certain government roles. Option C, both women and men can join the Defence Force and police. Option D, gender roles are strictly defined by law. The correct answer is both women and men can join the Defence Force and police. Explanation: men and women have equal rights in Australia. Both men and women can join the Australian Defence Force and the police and are treated equally in courts of law. Question 15, where is the Great Barrier Reef located? Option A, Victoria. Option B, Queensland. Option C, New South Wales. Option D, Western Australia. The correct answer is Queensland. Explanation: the Great Barrier Reef runs along the eastern coast of Queensland, which is the second largest state in Australia. Question 16, what is the capital city of Western Australia? Option A, Perth. Option B, Darwin. Option C, Adelaide. Option D, Sydney. The correct answer is Perth. Explanation: Western Australia is the largest state. About 3/4 of the state's population lives in Perth, the capital city. Question 17, what is a native animal of Australia? Option A, sheep. Option B, tiger. Option C, kangaroo. Option D, lion. The correct answer is kangaroo. Explanation: kangaroos are native Australian animals, and along with emus, native Australian birds, they support the shield on the Commonwealth coat of arms. Question 18, what type of government system does Australia have? Option A, communism. Option B, democracy. Option C, absolute monarchy. Option D, dictatorship. The correct answer is democracy. Explanation: Australia is a democracy where citizens freely choose representatives to govern the country and make laws on their behalf. Question 19, do people in positions of power in Australia have to obey the country's laws? Option A, false, they are exempt from laws. Option B, true, they must obey the laws. Option C, it depends on their position. Option D, only in certain circumstances. The correct answer is true, they must obey the laws. Explanation: people who hold positions of power in the Australian community must obey Australia's laws. This includes government, community, and religious leaders, as well as business people and the police. Question 20, do Australians believe in a society where everyone deserves a fair go? Option A, true. Option B, false. Option C, only in certain regions. Option D, it depends on social status. The correct answer is true. Explanation: Australians believe in a fair society where everyone deserves a fair go, without class distinctions.
Thanks for watching. We hope you answered all the questions correctly and this practice test helped you prepare for your Australian Citizenship Test. Remember to check out www.theaustraliantest.com for more free resources and practice tests. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more helpful content. Good luck on your journey to Australian citizenship.